pack your bags because the Amazing Readathon is back. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna, or Bri, and this is 4 Paws in a Book. I make bookish videos over here on my little corner of the internet, so if that's something you're interested in, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. Today is the video that everyone has been waiting for. This is the announcement for the Amazing Readathon 2.0. The Amazing Readathon was something that I started on my channel last year, and it went so well, and I am so happy to be bringing it back for a second year. It's going to be bigger and better than ever, and I'm excited to finally share it with you all. I've been working on this for months. It is my baby, and putting it out into the world is both terrifying and exhilarating all at the same time. If you're new here and you haven't heard anything about the Amazing Readathon, this is a readathon that is inspired loosely on The Amazing Race, the TV show where people travel the world competing against each other, trying to get across the globe the fastest. And even though we're not actually physically traveling here, we are going to be metaphorically traveling across the world by reading books throughout the month of June. This readathon is going to be taking place the entire month of June, so June 1st to June 30th, and we're going to be reading a whole bunch this month. This is a competitive based readathon, and so we will have 5 teams that will be competing against each other, reading, adding up points, and just having a ton of fun, and with a little bit of competition involved. Because of the competitive nature of this readathon, it will be starting in the Eastern time zone, so I have a time zone converter in the description so you can see what time it'll start for you, but it will start at midnight on June 1st in the Eastern time zone. The premise of this readathon is that there will be 10 prompts that will be dropped randomly throughout the month as we travel to different cities and countries throughout the world. You're not going to know these prompts ahead of time. They will be dropped pretty randomly every couple of days, so there's a lot of excitement when a prompt drops, and there's, you know, that little dopamine hit that's really fun. It's not one that you can technically build a TBR at the beginning of the month, but you can definitely start working on your pile of possibilities. We will also utilize a lot of the game pieces that are in the Amazing Race show, such as the detours and the roadblocks and the fast forward and the express pass. All of those things will be game pieces in this readathon that will also happen throughout the month. Before I get into the nuts and bolts of the readathon, let me introduce you to the teams for the Amazing Readathon 2024, and also our amazing co-host. Now, if you participated in Amazing Readathon last year, I need you to forget about 90% of what happened, because there's gonna be a lot of new things happening here. So in 2023, our teams were based on colors, and that was fun, but we're doing it a little bit differently this year. So in 2024, our teams are going to be based on genres, and the hosts that I have chosen for each team, I feel like have great recommendations for these genres, and they're going to be a great resource for you. Like I said, 5 teams. Our first team is going to be Team Fantasy, and that is going to be hosted by Cassidy over at Covers with Cassidy and Kristen over at Kristen Craves Books. For Team Romance, we have Izzy at Happy for Now and Heather at Hia Booktubes. For Team Spooky, as I am so lovingly dubbing them, this is going to encompass mystery, thriller, and horror, and that's going to be captained by Lexi from Books with Lexi and Leandra over at Leandra the TBR Zero. Then we have Team Fiction, and that is going to encompass contemporary stories that are not thriller or romance based, and also historical fiction. And that is going to be hosted by Kara over at Kara's Bookshelf and Aoife over at Pretty Purple Polka Dots. Lastly, we have Team Sci-Fi, and that is going to be hosted by Brittany over at Brittany Loves Reading and Zoe from Zoe's All Booked. So we have some returning hosts that helped me out with Amazing Readathon 2023, and we also have brought in some wonderful new faces. I'm so excited for everyone that is going to be joining this. It's going to be a really, really fun month. I also will have 5 producers, and they are going to be helping a lot with the behind the scenes content. So they aren't going to be on a specific team. They're kind of going to be rotating through, but they may have a little bit of insider information as the producers of this show. So helping me out as a producer is Shay from Shay Geeks Out, Margaret from The Word Nerd, Crystal from Bond Book Reviews, Jess from The Hexed Library, and Neva from Reading with Neva. All of these have been hosted previously, so they have definitely been the sounding board when I've been coming up with ideas. All right, so those are the teams. Now let's talk about what you need to do to get ready for this readathon. First things first, before the readathon starts, you'll want to do 2 things. First off, you want to to join the Discord because everything is going to be happening in the Discord. All of the video prompts, all of the rewards, all of the detours, everything that's happening is going to be happening in the Discord. So I highly encourage you to go join that. Secondly, you'll need to sign up and choose your team. There's a Google form down below. It'll also be available in the Discord and on the frequently asked questions, but filling out the form is the only way to officially sign up for this readathon. That way it gives me a count of how many people are on each team. All of the team scores are going to be average, so even if one team is much larger than another team, everything will be average, so everything is fair. Now let's talk about how the readathon is going to flow. On May 31st, I will drop the first destination, the first city that we will be going to that will have a prompt associated with that city. You will need to pick a book and start reading it once the readathon starts. Along with a prompt for your first city, you will also receive 5,000 GRC. This stands for General Readathon Currency, and it's how you're going to be moving through the race and buying plane tickets and whatnot to move from city to city. You'll want to use your money wisely because there is the possibility that you will run out and then you will have to walk to your next city. With each prompt drop, you will receive a price for a plane ticket and or a train or boat ticket, whatever makes the most sense from going from city to city. And these prices obviously are going to vary depending on which city we're going to. The plane ticket will obviously be the most expensive, but it will also double your page count for your travel book, giving you that many more points for your team. During the leg, you will also have a detour, which will be an activity prompt that is not required for you to do, but it's fun and it gives your team some extra points. They're usually very easy to do. It's something like post a picture of X, Y, or Z on social media. Like I said, these are not required, they're just fun. Then at the end of each leg, I will tally up all of the team's points, and the team that is in first place will receive a special reward. It might be more money, it might be an extra hint. Who knows what it'll be? It'll be different every single time. And the team in last place will receive a challenge. So being in last is not something you want to do very often. Throughout the month, there will be 10 cities that we will be going to. Last year, we went to cities like New York and Sydney and London. And this year, I have 10 new cities that we will be visiting. So I said this readathon was competitive based, and the idea is to get the most points. But you're asking, Brie, how do you get the points? I am here to tell you. Points will all be determined based on your page count. So for example, if you read a 300-page book, your base points will be 300 points. Now you'll choose which travel option you want. If you choose the most expensive option, you'll actually double that page count, so it'll actually be 600 points. If you take the middle option, it does not do anything to your points, so it's just 300 points. And if you run out of money and you have to walk to your destination, it'll actually divide your page count in half, so you would only be getting 150 points. There are ways to add on to that page count as well. There are bonuses that you can apply to every book. For this round, you will receive 50 bonus points if you read in your team's genre. So if you're on Team Fantasy and you read a fantasy, then you'll get 50 points. Obviously, team genres are up to interpretation, especially with genre blends. So use your best judgment. The official rule is that it needs to be 60% your team's genre. Essentially, if the A plot is your team's genre, then you can count it regardless of if there are other things that are happening in the book. The second way to get bonus points is going to be new for this round. And because we are doing this readathon in June, which is Pride Month, if the book that you chose is written by a LGBTQ+ author, then you will receive 50 bonus points for that as well. Other ways to get points for your teams are doing things like the detours and the roadblocks. Every time I post a detour, I will also tell you how many points that you will add to your team as long as you submit the activity. Face-Off Weekend will also be happening this year. This is a little mini 48-hour challenge within the greater month, and there will be a special side quest that will be happening that weekend. It's going to be happening June 14th through the 16th. We will start at noon Eastern time and end Sunday at noon Eastern time. And the team that wins this face-off challenge will also receive an extra reward. A new fun piece this year is going to be the extra sightseeing prompts. So if you are a really fast reader and you read more than one book in a 3-ish day span, I have an option for you to gain even more points for your team. So once you make it to your destination, you can sightsee a little bit. And I have 50 different prompts that have a range of points from 100 to 500 points. And you can fulfill these prompts with new books and add them to your team. You cannot double up prompts on this one. You can only do one prompt per book, and a little bit of a strategy here, you can only fulfill each one of these prompts one time throughout the month. You can add in your bonuses for team genre and for an LGBTQ plus author, but other than that, it's not a page count, it's just 100 to 500 points. So you'll definitely want to use this strategically. Do you want to fill out all of the 500 point ones first? Do you want to kind of vary it? Maybe you hold off until the very end to hit the 500s. I don't know, it's gonna be up to your team. These prompts can only be completed and submitted if you have already completed the current leg of the race. So it's not something that you would be doing if you are behind. Just like last year, we do have our host favorites board. So all of our team hosts have chosen 5 favorite books that you can read, and if you read one of these, then you will receive 100 GRC to add to your bank account. Now, you do have to keep track of your GRC on your own. This is not something that you'll submit. Just keep track of it on your own. I will have a spreadsheet for you, a little like money tracker, but we're all doing it on the honor system. And if you don't want to track your GRC at all, if you want to kind of do this a little bit easier, the middle travel option will equal 5,000 GRC, which is your entire balance. So you can just choose that option for the entire race and then you don't have to track it. Let's talk about some FAQs because this is a really complex readathon and I probably won't even get to all of the frequently asked questions, but if you have more questions, please ask them in the comments below or in the Discord. The host and the mods will be happy to help you. So first off, what counts as a book? Anything. Anything counts as a book. If it's on Goodreads or Storygraph, it is a book. If you're reading a comic or a graphic novel or a manga, we ask that you put 100 as the page count number rather than the actual page count, just to kind of keep things a little bit fair. Obviously, graphic novels and manga take less time to read than a traditional novel. So if you are reading one of those, you'll just put 100 as the page count or less if it's a really short one. Do I have to read my team's genre? You don't have to. You can read whatever you want as long as it fits the prompt. And so if you are on Team Spooky, but you're like, you know, I'm really in a romance mood for this leg, read a romance. You just won't get that extra 50 points for your team genre. I'm not on Discord. What do I do? Can't help you out with this one, honestly. Everything is going to be in the Discord. So all of the prompt drops, all of the detours, all of the rewards and challenges for your team are all going to be in the Discord. These videos are going to be unlisted, so it's not something you can just like pop onto my channel and watch the video and do this on your own. It's very much a community-based readathon. I will say Discord's a ton of fun and it can be a little bit overwhelming, so you can change your notification settings to only be notified when you are tagged. I will tag people for important announcements. So if you don't want to be notified every time someone's talking in that Discord, because it can get overwhelming, you can change your notification settings and you won't be missing anything important. But it is super important to be on the Discord and at least be available. Can I skip around in this readathon? No. This is obviously a travel-based readathon, so we will be going from one destination to another in a specific order, and you do have to read the prompts in order. So if you're behind, that is okay. You are still helping your team with the cumulative score, but you do have to finish the prompts in order. So if we're on prompt 4, we drop prompt 4, and you're still on prompt 3, you'll want to finish prompt 3 and then move on to prompt 4. Will there be sprints? Absolutely. Most of the hosts that I have sprint at least once a week, and so the idea is that we will actually have sprints every single day at some point of the day. So don't worry, you will definitely have a ton of sprints. Do I have to keep track of my own points? Nope. There will be a form that will be posted for each leg. On that form, you'll put what book you read, how many pages it was, what your travel option was, and if it met any of the bonus points. That gets fed into a spreadsheet, and Google Sheets does the rest from there. The only thing that you will have to keep track of on your own will be your GRC, but like I said, if you don't want to do that, you can just take the middle option the entire month and use your money that way. Can I DNF books? You absolutely can. If you've read 51% or more of the book, you can count it for your leg of the race. When you submit the book, you'll just put the amount of pages that you did read, and then your bonuses will still count. If you read less than 50%, then it won't count, and you'll have to restart that leg of the race. Can I read books that I started in May? Yes, you can. I'm just asking that you read at least 51% of the book in June to count for this readathon. I'm sure there will be more questions, so like I said, ask them down below and I will make sure that I am commenting on them, as well as in the Discord we will have an FAQ page. So let's talk about the fun stuff, because I have merch again. So I am wearing the t-shirt with the official main logo for the readathon. However, I have shirts and sweatshirts and hoodies for every single team logo, so if you'd rather rep your team instead of the plain, that's perfectly fine. These will all be available on Bonfire, and there is a campaign going right now. So if you would like to purchase these, The campaign will last 2 weeks, and then you should receive it before the start of the readathon. I'll also have these available once the readathon starts for on demand. They'll cost a little bit more than these batch ones do, just because the cost to produce one at a time is a little bit more. So those are all over on Bonfire, but I have something fun happening on Etsy as well. This year, I made bookmarks. Now, you can't see them here, so I'm going to show you a quick little view of them. I am in love with these. They are foiled, they are sparkly. It is absolutely gorgeous. So I have them for each of the team logos as well as the main logo. You can buy these as an individual, you can buy them as a 2-pack with the plain and then your team logo, or you can buy all 6 of them. These are definitely going to be in limited quantities, so once they run out, I can't promise that I will do another restock. So if you are interested in those, get on those quick. Lastly, over on Etsy, I have these stickers just with the main logo. I don't have the team logos for these, but if you're wanting just like a sticker for your reading journal or something like that, those are available. I'm also potentially working on the option for a sticker sheet for people's reading journals, if that's something that you're interested in. Those are not finalized yet, so I can't promise that that's happening, but I am trying. Okay, I think that's all that I have for this. I'm sure that I forgot something. These are always scary to make. Here's what you need to know right now. Go sign up, go pick your team, and join the Discord and join the fun. It's going to be a fun month. I am so excited for you to be joining us and traveling the world through books. If you're planning on joining us, let me know down in the comments below what team you're planning on joining, and if you're not feeling chatty, do the plain emoji. If you are interested in seeing how this all worked last year, I'm gonna put a playlist of all of my vlogs and all of my Amazing Readathon content, so you can check that out. And if you're new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little button that you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!